I eavesdropped on all the press conference earlier, so I don't have a lot of questions. But,
Okay.
How's the day going so far? A lot of boosters talking about the recruiting class.
Yeah, talking about the class and talking about getting ready for spring ball and just the excitement there and guys kind of coming back and the new guys, and that's kind of what you've been doing all day, but a little uneventful because of most of the heavy lifting was done in December.
Right.
But I mean, signing day is always the culmination of all the coaches' efforts and a lot of the support groups' efforts for recruiting, and it's been started over a year ago at this time. In fact, we were talking, I think 6 out of the 22 guys on that sheet were on at Elite Junior Day, and so we had some pretty good targets, and we were ahead of the game last year, and I think we're even more ahead of the game going into the 2019, and so that's kind of all part of it.
You feel like overall it was kind of you came out ahead with the early signing period, just the changes this year?
It was a big advantage for us, especially being in a late bowl game, for us to be able to, especially our assistants, to sink their teeth in. We had really good targets in September. Our guys that I thought recruited well during the fall, and then the late bowl game, in the first 2 weeks we were able to really go after it. And you look at the class with the quarterback and the 4 linemen. I mean, between those 5 guys, they turned down some significant teams in the last 5 days of the December signing period. And I don't think, I think that was a product of the early signing period and the relationships that our assistant coaches had with those kids. So I think it was a major positive for us. And then the biggest thing is we didn't have as many spots for this.
Right.
We had some kids committed that didn't sign. We had some mission kids that had committed but didn't sign. So we really actively sought out walk-ons. And some guys are going to initially come into the program as a non-scholarship kid, but that's a big part of our program. It has been for a long time. Obviously, the in-state kids are a big part of that, or can be. And so some of the roster spots that are going to be filled by some of those guys I'm really excited about.
Are some of those guys on the list, are they not scholarship guys? Are they
not
walk-ons?
initially? They won't be initially, yeah.
Okay.
So
Not how many.
Yeah.
The 10 today.
A few.
I was going to ask the same question. Cause
Do they sign something?
Yeah.
I think everybody is curious, like why can you announce some walk-ons but you can't? Whatever.
Well, and those are the guys that are admitted into Utah State, and we announced them, and so there will be some.
That's what I was going to ask you about Will Dana, because I saw that he said he was a preferred walk-on.
Yep.
But so that hasn't changed. That's still
he is, and Mitch is, and
okay.
There's a couple others.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Coach.
And then
no problem.
I had a question about
keep firing away.
Yeah. So kind of the focus of this class, it seemed like a lot of guys were offensive line first part, and then kind of focused on some skill guys. But it seemed like you had those guys kind of early as well. So will that change in the future? Do you think I'm not saying you got bad guys or anything, but will that change your philosophy going forward, or is that just all good that you had? You basically had your
say
class.
That again, because
you basically had your class either committed or signed in December or early January.
Is that philosophy going to change?
Yeah, as far as maybe hold some scholarships to the end, just in case, or different things like that.
Well, first of all, right now we're holding 2.
Okay, that's
spring.
My next question.
Okay, but coming out of December, I think it's hard to predict because I'm still kind of trying to. How's next year going to be and predict it? But I kept hearing about other schools saying, I kind of caught us by surprise. I mean, we all knew what it was going to be an early signing period.
Yeah.
Here's what you can't predict is how many recruits out there are going to want to sign early again next year.
Right.
This year, they gained some momentum late in the fall, and kids started changing their mind and saying, I want to sign early. Will that be the case again next year? I don't think any of us can predict it. So that's a philosophy. But I think what you do is you go after the kids that are going to sign early, and If you got a kid rated higher and he's better, then you'll wait for him into the January period with the February signing date. But
Right.
I also don't think you're not guaranteed to get those guys either. So
Right.
there's a lot of guesswork a little bit involved in terms of the first signing period.
Is there a certain position that you're kind of holding those 2 scholarships for? Or?
Yeah. First of all, I want to say that you want them to be somebody to get. The hope is that they would be an impact player for this year's team. So, graduate transfer. Maybe it's a laid out junior college guy that we got our eyes on that are just trying to finish academically. The 2 positions on the team that you probably say the kids can come in here and make an impact early could be safety or wideout. Maybe potentially even corner, but we've got some young corners that I'm really excited about. We redshirted 3 guys.
Right.
Redshirted 3 corners. Jamarcus Ingram's going to be a sophomore. Cam Haney's going to be a junior. And we just signed DJ Williams, who's going to play nickel. So to say you just want to have you can be able to entertain those guys. And if they're an impact player, then, we're going to get them. Last year we used one of those for Fua Leilua, who sat out this year. That's going to be absolutely in the D-line rotation this year. So sometimes it may be a guy like that.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for
Talk
coming.
to everybody today, all your recruits.